Welcome back to the Perspective Show. My name is Maina Kamunya. Dear Kenyans, today we want to reflect on what happened on Monday during the maandamano and also the attack on the Kenyatta's family. We want to look at what does it mean at national level to the economy of the nation, and secondly, why does this maandamano and political uncertainty seem to affect so much the Gema community? Before I proceed, if you have not subscribed yet, kindly consider subscribe, to like, and give us a comment. We'll highly appreciate. Let's now get to our today's episode. On Monday we had the second day of maandamano, and it was not only the maandamano that we saw. We also saw attack on Kenyatta's family property and also the Odinga company around Mombasa Road. And we need to ask ourselves one basic question. What does this mean? What does the attack on Kenyatta's family mean? What does the attack on the Odinga's company mean, especially to the economy of our nation? I want to remind all of us Kenyans, and especially the Kenya Kwanza government. Remember, you came into power via a philosophy of hustler versus dynasty. It seemed like it was a class war. In fact, it is alleged, and that it is in the public domain, that you're profiled as, it was purported that you are profiling a class war between the rich and the poor. So when we see an attack on a private property that belonged to the Kenyatta family, who is considered as a dynasty, and also the Odingas, who are also considered as dynasty, then the consequences would be that those people in our community or in our nation that may consider themselves as dynasties because they are wealthy, they have worked hard, they have their own company, they have run, they have all those things. One, they may feel threatened by what happened, because I remember sometimes back what Jege said that if you are attacking a common mwananchi, then all of us should be concerned, especially those who have something, should be concerned, because the young people who are promised job, who are promised employment, who are promised heaven during the campaigns, if they realize that the only way to get into what they are promised for is through this kind of activities, looting, destroying property, then it will become a norm. And these wealthy people who, because of their wealth, because of the resources they have their opportunity, they have their chance, they have that special place in our country, in our economy. Because most of the times, and especially this Kenya Kwanza government, they have said most of the program that they will do, most of the project that they will do it via what we call public-private partnership. And you know, when it comes to public-private partnership with the government, it's not a common mwananchi who will do that. It's not the poor person who will be engaged. They will engage this company that belonging to these wealthy people who have the resources, who have the network, who have the financial muscle. So therefore, then we stand a chance of losing investors who may want to invest in Kenya. We may also stand a chance of losing people who are Kenyans but wealthy, who may want to partner with the government to do projects. Therefore, we want to condemn what happened yesterday with the strongest words possible and say that the Kenya Kwanza government, you have a responsibility to protect all Kenyans, regardless of their political, their social, or their economic status. It's your duty as a government to protect their lives and also their property. And therefore should act fast and ensure that this thing does not happen again, because it will have a consequence, economically to have a consequence. And remember, we are in a time where economically our nation is struggling. I have heard few senators complaining that their salaries even delayed. So it tells you we are struggling economically, and therefore anything that will deter investment, anything that will affect the political, the economic stability of our nation is a real threat to our nation. And therefore, we should encourage that even as the Azimio continue with maandamano, they should also be very, very cautious, because the constitution allows peaceful picketing. It's not peaceful, because when you root Muhidi Mweusi, when you go and kill, when you root a shop only to just a young lady who is trying to make a fortune, then you are turning the whole thing chaotic. You are turning the whole thing contrary to what is intended by the constitution. Therefore, we want to request that the political class, the Azimio, the government, come to an agreement. If maandamano will be done, let it be done peacefully. Police are there to protect those people who are doing maandamano and those who will open their businesses. And therefore, whichever means that need to be employed by the government, it must be employed in the next few hours or days. Ensure that in the next picketing, that there will be no looting, there will be no stealing, there will be no destruction of property. Because if we go that route, it is a very slippery route, and that can lead this nation to where we came from. Let us not forget 2007, 2008. It was started with a narrative like this one. Oh, Madawadowa, oh this and this, oh this and this. That narrative of Madawadowa is what led to bloodshed, mayhem, and all that happened during that time. Now we have this, which seems like a crass war. It must be stopped as early as possible. Therefore, the Kenya Kwanza government, William Samoei Ruto, our president, Rigathi Gachagua, take charge, engage the police, let them do their job, let them not be divided, let them provide that which is required for. Azimio and Kenya Kwanza and all your supporters, remember, all of us need a good country, a country where all of us can thrive. Do your picketing peacefully, without destruction of property, without looting, and without engaging the police, so that all of us, whatever we do it within the confines of the law. The second area that I want us to cover, and this is a question that we must ask ourselves, and especially the Mount Kenya region. Before the 2022 elections, there were people who were known, they were very vocal, they were all over, shaming, fighting, insulting Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, his family, and sometimes Odinga's family, and also the Moi's family. We have people like Oscar Sudi. We have people, this MP from Emuru Dikil, Joan Ngeno. We had Nandi Senator Samson Cherargei. These are people who are very vocal, attacking the president, then Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, his family, and also Odinga's and also the Moi's. But today, they are nowhere to be found. Despite the maandamano that have happened, this is Monday being the second day, I have not heard Oscar Sudi speak. I have not heard Ngeno. I have not heard Samson Cherargei speak about what is happening. Wherever they have the opportunity they're having to speak, they're only speaking it in Parliament, in the Senate. But we have not heard them speak vocally as they used to be before 2020, before they came into power. I want to ask ourselves this critical question. Why is it that this government being led by a Kalenjin, that the people who seem to be so vocal, so aggressive, fighting one of their own, are the Kikuyus? Why does it seem that it's only Gachagua, Ndindi Nyoro, Kimani Ichung'wah, and the others, this MP from Naivasha, Jane Kihara, are the ones seeming to be so vocal, fighting Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta? Is this a fight between the Kikuyus and the Kikuyus? Is there a trap that allow the Kikuyus to fight amongst themselves, allow them to fight and get divided, so that at the end of it all, it will be easier to govern, it will be easier to rule them? Remember when Moi came into power, there's something he knew, that Kikuyus, they were so much independent because of their economic power, because they had tea, they had pyrethrum, they had coffee, they had milk. And what Moi did, and I have read a book, not one or two, concerning the same. He employed what we call divide and rule tactic. All the way from the factories that were known best in tea, in milk, in pyrethrum, all those areas. And what happened eventually is that all these industries collapsed, and the Kikuyus, the power they were where they derived their power and pride was no longer there, and therefore Moi was able to install his people in all those sectors, and that's where the downfall of the Kikuyu economy began. Kibaki have tried 10 years, he could not do it. Uhuru have tried 10 years, he could not do it. We are still struggling even today after 20 years. We are starting talking about tea, milk, pyrethrum. You get? But the economy of Kikuyu is yet to peak to where it was during the first Kenyatta's time. Therefore, Kikuyus must be very, very careful. This scene that was seen in Northrad, a farm, it's not the first thing that we have seen in Africa. People went in Zimbabwe. They did the same that we saw here on Monday. The Rad were divided. They chased away the white settlers. But the question I want us to ask ourselves, after those poor Zimbabweans chased away the white settlers, were they given those lands? Were those lands divided and given to those people who chased away the white settlers? No. Those who are in power are the ones who took over those lands. Therefore, these Kikuyus, the innocent young men and women who are being misused to do this kind of destruction of property and rooting, even if that land was to be taken, they will not be given. It will not be shared amongst yourself. It will only be taken by those political class. Are we together? Therefore, Kikuyus must be very careful, because if they continue this path, it will be dangerous. It will be dangerous on this one way. Uhuru Kenyatta is known as a man who have sacrificed for the sake of the Kikuyu, especially after the post-election violence in 2007 to 2008. He's the one who went to rescue the Kikuyus who are trapped in Rift Valley. He used his own resources to give people transport and also get them land to settle them, right? But after 10 years in power, this is how we have repaid him. That we can unashamedly go to his farm, destroy, steal, and feel no pain. I want to remind and caution the Kikuyu politician in power today. Rigathi Gachagua, today you are fighting for tea, milk, and pyrethrum, and also coffee. This is a seed we are planting in our young generation. We are teaching them that if you disagree with your father, if your father brought up wrongly, the moment you mature, the moment you have the power, then you go back to revenge against your father. Right? Rigathi Gachagua, you may do whatever you have to do for the people of Kenya, and especially from the people of the mountain. You may fight for tea, coffee, pyrethrum, and maybe you will succeed, and we wish you succeed, because it will be for the benefit of the people of the mountain. Then you may do well so well in Kiharo. Kimani, you may do so well in Kikuyu. But what you have sowed in this generation is that if you do one straight mistake, then they will forget all the good thing you did and they will come for you. They will pay you for one mistake that you have done and forego all the good thing you did and come and punish you for that. What this will mean is that any political leader who will be elected in the central Kenya, back in his mind he will be knowing that no matter how good I serve these people, one day if I make a mistake, they'll come back to me, they'll come and punish me, punish my family, steal everything that I have worked for, destroy, burn down everything that I have. And therefore, whenever they come to power, their interest will be one. They'll be there to cater for themselves, to serve their self-interest and forget about the people. Will we ever grow as a region? Will we ever succeed as a region? Will we ever come together as a region? Because if that's how we shall be paying our leaders, then we have lost it. And no one who will come after Uhuru will be interested in the Kikuyus, because he will know if he fought for us, if he went in Rift Valley to rescue our people, and this is how we have done for him, then even me, when I come to power, I'll not be cared about the people. I'll be cared about my self-interest. Therefore, it's a long seed as we are sowing. And I want to appeal to the Kikuyu Council of Elders and also the church, the bishops and the archbishops in the central region. Please, as fast as you can, try to get the Central Kenya leaders together. Unite them again. Wakae chini waongeleshwe. Right? Let them calm down. Let them come and talk to them. Because the path we are taking is so dangerous. Remember, today as we speak, the Central Kenya is the one leading in single motherhood. It is the Central Kenya is the one leading in alcoholism and drug abuse. Now, due to the unemployment and desperation of the young people, look at what is happening. So therefore, if we go the same route, we were known to be a region that produces kings, economic giant, people who are hardworking, people who are brilliant, people who are serious in investment. But the trend we are taking our young people, the path we are taking them down, it may mean in the next few years, 5 years, we may not have a region, right? And therefore, we want to appeal to the church leaders and also the Kikuyu Council of Elders and the senior political leaders who are in our region today. Please, join your hands together. Call these young leaders. Call them, all of them together, from the president, the retired president, the deputy president, Rigathi Gachagua, and all those in power today, governors, MPs, senators. Let them sit down. Install to them the values of the Kikuyu, the community. We were known of hardworking. We were known of respecting one another. We were never known of destruction property and also stealing and shedding blood. That is not our culture, right? And therefore, I want to appeal from the perspective show, kindly, as soon as you can, please, this must stop. We must seem to be getting this in order. And Rigathi Gachagua, please, as the highest leader in government from our region, you have a responsibility to unite the people. Ulikuwa umeenda vizuri sana. You had gone very, very, very well. You have tried to unite from those in opposition, those who are in Azimio, had brought them together. Now, look for a good and something else. Go to Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, visit him, all right? Talk to him, so that at the end of it all you are doing, it will be for the benefit of the people of Mount Kenya region. Gachagua, when you succeed in tea, when you succeed in milk, when you succeed in coffee and pyrethrum, the benefit will be for the sake of the people of Kenya. If the intention of one man, one vote that was being propagated by Uhuru Kenyatta, if it succeeded, the children who would have benefited from funding by the CDF in their education would have been people from the central region. If the tax relief for the young people succeeded, right, the same would have benefited the young people from the same region. Therefore, all you are doing and the intention that Uhuru had was to benefit the same people. Therefore, there's no need, there's no cause of disagreement. This maandamano will come to an end, but our region is bigger than the maandamano, our region is bigger than Gachagua, our region is bigger than Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. So therefore, please come together, reason together, and ensure that you have a way forward for the sake of the people of Mountain. Thank you very much. See you in our next episode.